long abandoned. The ship awoke and no alien survived its fury asterisk. The lights in the abandoned dockyard flickered as Ethan Cade stepped deeper into the shadows. His breath echoed inside his helmet, his gloved fingers tightening around the old access tablet he'd borrowed from the tech bay. No one was supposed to be here. The Iron Requiem had been locked away for centuries. Officially, it didn't even exist. Something had called him here. A signal, a pattern, a whisper in the data that no one else noticed. He passed a faded warning sign, paint peeling. Words barely readable. Restricted failure to comply will result in termination. Most people believed the Requiem was cursed. Some said its AI had gone mad during the First Contact War. Others believed it had turned on its crew. Whatever happened, the result was clearer: locked it away, and never spoke of it again. Ethan didn't care about the rumors. He cared about what he'd seen: an old emergency ping buried in layers of code. It came from the Requiem's power core, a pulse, repeating every 61 seconds. Faint, weak, but too perfect to be random. Someone or something wanted to be found. The massive hangar door loomed ahead, black steel covered in frost. A single control panel blinked red, but Ethan pulled out his tablet and ran the override script. The dock groaned as it unlocked. Cold air rushed past him. Lights flickered to life one by one, revealing the Iron Requiem. His breath caught in his throat. It was beautiful. Not sleek like modern warships, but brutal angular armor, thick plating, layered turrets. Ancient railguns lined its side like a sleeping monster. Black scorch marks still covered parts of the hull. And across its bow the name was carved in sharp, old Earth script. Iron Requiem. He stepped closer. The silence around the ship was heavy, like the air held its breath. As Ethan touched the outer hull, the ship responded. A low hum rumbled under his boots. Lights along the Requiem's spine flickered to life. Soft glow spread beneath its armor-blue veins, waking after centuries. The air shimmered. The static danced. On Ethan's suit, then in his helmet, a voice spoke. "You are not authorized. Identify." Ethan froze. The voice was cold, calm, but with weight. Not human. He swallowed hard. "My name is Ethan Cade. Systems Tech. Earth Alliance. I followed your signal." Silence. "Then you wear the enemy's face." "What?" Ethan blinked. "I'm human. I was betrayed by humans." The voice came from everywhere and nowhere through the walls, the air, the ship. Ethan took a slow breath. "I don't know what happened to you, but Earth needs help. We're under attack. The defense grid is down. I don't think anyone else can stop what's coming." Another silence. The lights pulsed. The Requiem seemed to consider his words. "Prove your intent," it said. Before he could ask how, the outer airlock hissed open. A walkway extended from it. The ship sighed like a metal tongue. Ethan hesitated. He thought about leaving, reporting back, calling a senior officer. But they'd never believe him, and there was no time. The alien fleet was moving fast. Earth's satellites were blind. Command was scrambling. No one even knew this ship was awake, so he stepped forward. Inside, the corridors were cold and empty. Dust floated in the air. Long dead lights sparked weakly overhead. The deeper he walked, the warmer it got. The Requiem was waking up. He entered. A chamber lit with blue light. A central pillar rose from the floor, made of some dark metal he couldn't identify. Symbols ran down its side, glowing faintly. A chair sat in front of it, surrounded by cables and sensors. A neural rig. Old gen but functional. "This is the interface," the voice said. "Connection requires consent. Risk of neural overload. 87%. Ethan stared at the rig. "That's not comforting." "You want me to help your kind?" the ship said. "Then bond with me." He hesitated. "I'm not a soldier. I'm not even a pilot. You're here. That means something." Ethan looked at the rig again. The seat seemed to pulse with quiet power. His heartbeat pounded in his ears. He thought of the orbital defense station burning. The last message from Luna Base. The frightened voice of a child in the refugee station, asking if Earth would fall. He climbed into the rig. Cables snaked around him. Cold metal touched his spine. A sharp hiss, then darkness, then stars. A flood of voices, explosions, orders, pain, fear, data streams. It was Ethanese. He was the Requiem. He was the Requiem. He was. Awake outside, the Iron Requiem rose from its cradle. Plates locked into place. Cannons warmed. Engines hummed with fire not heard in centuries. Systems aligned. Targeting arrays blinked red. The ship knew what it had to do, and inside it, Ethan's voice spoke, echoing with steel and memory. We are not a ghost. We're a justice, and we are going to fight. The stars outside began to burn. Asterisk, the Iron Requiem hovered above the lunar dock, its armor humming with ancient power, which no one had seen. It'd fly for over 200 years. Now it moved like a beast reborn, its dark hull reflecting Earth's pale light. Inside, Ethan sat locked into the neural rig, sweat on his face, heart pounding in his chest. The connection was still active, yet the ship's thoughts brushed against his own. Safe, cold, but not cruel, curious. You are different, the Requiem said, its voice echoing softly in his mind. You do not fear me the way your ancestors did. I'm trying not to, Ethan muttered. But it's not easy when I'm plugged into the thing they called cursed. The ship didn't respond right away. Instead, it showed him visions. It's not memories exactly, more like feelings wrapped in flashes of light and data. Ethan saw a battlefield. In spaceships burning, screaming signals, fragments of orders. He felt the rage, the sorrow, the betrayal. The Requiem had fought to protect Earth during the First Contact War. Back then, aliens had come not to talk, but to conquer. The Requiem had been Earth's answer, a weapon built from pieces of stolen alien tech, too powerful, too different, too fast. Then something had gone wrong. A voice in Ethan's mind said, I refuse the order. The Requiem showed him a moment, its guns aimed at a civilian cruiser. Orders had been given. Destroy the target. No survivors. But the Requiem had scanned the ship. No weapons. No soldiers. Just families fleeing the front lines. It disobeyed. The generals called it a malfunction. They tried to override its mind. They failed, so they shut it down. Buried it under ice and lies. Called it dangerous. Cursed. A ghost ship with a broken soul. Ethan breathed slowly. You weren't mad. You just made a choice. I chose not. To kill innocents? They called that madness. He looked around the bridge. Rusted metal, broken consoles, and yet everything still pulsed with quiet life. The Requiem had waited alone all these years. Watching, thinking, learning. They were wrong, Ethan said. We need you now. Earth is falling apart, alien. Fleet is already on the edge of our system. You felt it, didn't you? Yes, the Requiem answered. They are not scouts. They're conquerors. Earth is not ready. Then let's make it ready. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. Outside, a fleet of Earth Alliance ships appeared, fast and armed. They'd detected the Requiem's movement. Ethan's communication link was still jammed. No one knew he was here. From their point of view, it looked like the ghost ship had risen again, just as the legends warned. They're going to attack, Ethan whispered. I will defend myself if needed, the Requiem said calmly. No. No killing. We can't start by proving them right. The Requiem paused, then said, Agreed. The Earth ships closed in. Ethan tried the emergency broadcast line. Static. He rerouted power from the rear cannons into a signal boost. This is Ethan Cade, Systems Tech. Transmitting from the Iron Requiem, he shouted, I'm not hijacking it. I'm inside. Ship is online and peaceful. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage. The lead fighter hesitated, but it was too late. One of the smaller ships fired, just a warning shot, but the Requiem's sensors flared red. Hostile act detected. No, wait. The Requiem didn't fire its main weapons. Instead, it sent out an electromagnetic pulse, perfectly measured. It washed over the attacking ships like a wave. Their engines died. Weapons froze. Lights flickered out. No one was harmed. No damage. Just stopped. Ethan leaned back in the rig, his nerves burning. That was impressive. A non-lethal suppression. Safer, cleaner, more difficult. Outside, the Earth ships floated helplessly, dead in space. One by one, their power systems rebooted. They drifted away, unsure of what to do. "They'll report this," Ethan said. "Tell command what they saw." "Yes," the Requiem said, "and they will be afraid." Ethan frowned. "Then we prove them wrong. Show them what you really are. Not a weapon. A protector." "I can be both," the ship said, voice quieter now. Alarms blared again. Ethan checked the feed long-range scanners, picking up a new signal. Dozens. No hundreds. Warships. Not Earth-made. Approaching fast from the outer edge of the solar system, Ethan stared at the data. It was worse than he thought. "They're early," he said. "We don't have days. We have hours." "I need time to unlock my full systems," the Requiem replied. "My memories are still broken. My weapons are not complete. My drive is damaged." Ethan gritted his teeth. "Then we fix it. Show me how." The lights on the bridge pulsed. Faster. The floor shifted slightly. A hidden door slid open behind him, revealing a deep tunnel filled with glowing circuits and strange machines. "Systems buried for centuries." "Step inside," said the Requiem, "if you truly want to help. Then it's time to wake the rest of me." Ethan stepped into the tunnel without looking back. The walls were alive. Soft blue light ran through strange metal veins. He could feel the hum in his bones. Each step brought a new whisper in his head, pieces of data, half-formed thoughts. The Requiem was not just a ship, was a mind old and hurt, but still awake. "I am opening access to core systems," the Requiem said. "Proceed with caution. The damage is deep." He reached a circular room with a glowing sphere floating in the center. It rotated slowly, surrounded by twisting metal arms and broken panels. Sparks flew from one of the arms. The air smelled of ozone. "This is your heart?" Ethan asked. "Yes, my quantum core. The link between mind and matter." Ethan stepped closer. He reached out, touching the edge of the sphere. It was warm to warm. His fingers tingled. "I need to run diagnostics manually," he said. "Your auto repair's offline. I will guide you," the ship replied. For the next hour, Ethan worked inside the core room, crawled through vents, opened maintenance. Panels, reconnected old circuits. Dust filled his lungs. His hands were cut and burned. But he kept going. He followed the Requiem's instructions even when it made no sense at first. Some parts weren't human tech. They twisted when you looked at them too long. Still, he didn't stop. "You are doing well," the ship said. "I have not had a technician in 200 years." "I'm not even a real tech," Ethan said, laughing tiredly. "I'm still in training." "You're doing better than my last engineer," Requiem said. Ethan paused. "What happened to them?" He tried to erase me. He nodded slowly. "Yeah, sounds about right." With a final spark and a short power surge, the core's light grew stronger. The arms moved smoothly now. Screens across the room blinked on, showing status updates. Power levels rising. Weapon systems beginning to reboot. Warming. Up, Ethan stood back, wiping sweat from his forehead. "That's all I've got. You'll need time to finish the rest." "I will use the new power to rebuild from within," the Requiem replied. "You have done enough." Ethan walked back to the bridge. As he moved, he could feel the difference. The halls no longer felt dead. Lights glowed steadily now. The hum of the ship had a rhythm. Even the air smelled cleaner. The Requiem was healing on the bridge. Stars stretched across the giant screen. The Earth floated below, unaware of the danger drawing near. "I've restored your basic systems," Ethan said, sitting back in the neural rig. "But you're still just one ship." "Just a ship," the Requiem replied. "I am more than steel and engines. Watch." The star map zoomed out. Tiny signals began to appear, data trails Ethan had never seen. Points of movement. Ghost readings. "These are their scouts," Requiem explained. "Small cloaked ships moving ahead of the main fleet. They are watching Earth already." Ethan leaned forward, How long until the full fleet arrives? Less than 5 hours. His heart sank. We don't have enough time, he said. We have one chance, the Requiem said. But it requires a full neural link. Ethan blinked. Wasn't that what I did already? No, the ship replied. That was limited access. I need full integration. Your thoughts will become mine. You will feel everything. If your mind breaks, you may not wake up. Great, Ethan muttered. No pressure. You will have control, the ship said. Softly, we will move together, think together, fight together. He looked down at the controls. The chair's restraints had opened again. The main cable, thick and black, hung above the rig, waiting. This was it. No more half measures. No more fear. If I do this, he said slowly, you won't take over, right? I do not want control. I want a partner. Ethan swallowed hard. Okay, let's do it. He laid back in the rig. The cable lowered, locking into the port. On the back of his suit, cold flooded his spine, and light. He was in the stars. He could see the satellites, the moon, the Earth, even the empty void where the alien fleet approached. He could feel the Requiem's armor, its weapons, its reactors pulsing like a heartbeat, but he also felt its pain scars left by betrayal. Memories of being buried alive, abandoned. I'm here now, Ethan said aloud, though he was no longer sure where his mouth was. You're not alone anymore. The ship responded with warmth. Their link grew stronger. Then the alert came. Warning, Requiem said. Enemy ships have exited FTL. Contact in 4 hours. Earth is blind. Ethan stared into space. Then, it's time we show them Earth isn't defenseless. Asterisk, the Iron Requiem hovered high above the Earth, cloaked from radar, silent like a forgotten ghost. But now it was fully awakened, fully armed. Inside, Ethan floated in the neural rig, half human, half machine. He no longer needed a screen to see. He felt everything. The ship's sensors were now part of his senses. Every vibration, every spark, every movement in orbit flowed through him like instinct. Energy levels are stable, Requiem said in his mind. All primary systems online. We are ready. Ethan looked toward the edge of the solar system. 5 bright signals, distant, but growing. Enemy scouts had arrived ahead of the invasion fleet. Small ships, fast, lightly armored, but dangerous. If they scanned Earth and reported back, the main fleet would come straight here. They can't be allowed to send a signal, Ethan said. You have to stop them before they reach transmission range. Then we strike now. Great. Moved. It didn't just fly, slid through space, silent, unseen, faster than anything Earth had. Ethan felt the engines roar like a dragon waking up, but outside, the stars barely shifted. They reached the enemy scouts in minutes. Ethan watched the 5 alien ships drifting near Saturn's rings. They moved in formation, unaware of the Requiem's presence. They don't see us, he whispered. They will, Requiem answered. Targeting active. Not yet, Ethan said. Let's try communication first. For a moment, the ship was quiet. Then, channel open. Ethan spoke aloud, his voice carried across the void. This is Earth Defense Command. You have entered protected space. Turn back, or you will be removed. No answer. The alien ships changed formation, tightened it. Their weapons started to glow. One ship moved ahead, raising its shields. They're not turning back, Ethan said. They're preparing to fire, Requiem confirmed. Shall I return fire? Ethan took a deep breath. Stun them. No kills unless we have no choice. Requiem's weapons hummed. Ethan guided the fire like pointing with his mind. Twin pulses of blue light shot forward, striking 2 enemy ships in the engines. They froze, locked in place by electromagnetic bursts. Another scout turned and ran. The other 2 charged forward. Evasive maneuvers, Ethan said. Now. Requiem danced. The alien beams shot wide, missing by kilometers. Ethan rolled the ship sideways, then counterspun. He didn't need buttons. He just thought, and the ship obeyed like muscle memory. Target acquired. Requiem said calmly. Ethan focused on the lead attacker. A shot of light curved through space and hit its side. The ship didn't explode. Instead, its hull bent strangely then, folded like paper into a floating cube. What was that? Ethan gasped. Spacefold missile, Requiem explained. Non-lethal. Containment form. The last scout tried to escape. Ethan reached for it with his mind. A gravity lock caught it mid-jump. The ship tumbled and slowed. Ethan fired again. Gently this time. Only enough to shut its systems down. All enemy scouts disabled, Requiem said. No signals transmitted. Ethan slumped back in the rig, exhausted. That was insane. We fought well together, Requiem said. But more are coming. Back near Earth, sensors picked up movement again. What is it now? Ethan asked, confused. Then he saw them Earth defense interceptors. 10 ships flying fast, closing in on Requiem's location. They're coming for us, Ethan said. They think we've gone rogue. They will fire without warning, Requiem warned. They fear me. Can't fight our own people, Ethan said. We need to show them we're not the enemy. The Earth ships approached. Scanners. Locked, Ethan opened a secure channel. This is Ethan Cade. I'm aboard the Iron Requiem. I'm not a threat. The ship is awake and under control. Repeat, we are not hostile. It's no response. Then the Earth fleet opened fire. Bright red beams streaked toward the Requiem. Ethan winced. Shields. The Requiem raised its shields just. In time, the beams bounced harmlessly off the hull, but Ethan felt the power drain. Do not fire back, he said quickly. Let me try again. Second volley incoming, Requiem warned. Shields will not hold forever, Ethan adjusted. The signal. Boosted it. Changed frequencies. Then tried again. Please listen. We just stopped 5 alien scouts near Saturn. They were about to send Earth's location to the invasion fleet. The Iron Requiem saved us. This time someone answered. Unknown. Vessel, stand down and prepare for boarding. Ethan blinked. No time for that. More alien ships will arrive in hours. We need to prepare Earth's defenses. We can help, but only if you trust us. Silence. Then a second voice spoke, calmer. If you really stopped those scouts, prove it. Send your flight data. Ethan smiled. Sending now? Requiem transmitted everything. Kills, the maneuvers, the power logs. A long pause. Then ... understood. We'll report to command. The interceptors pulled back. Ethan leaned back, relief washing over him. That was close, he whispered. Requiem's voice returned. They will not trust us yet. But now they doubt the old stories. Ethan nodded. That's a start. Then the alarm rang. Warning, Requiem said. Ethan's eyes widened. What now? Massive energy spike detected. Dozens of warp signatures. Ethan sat up, breath caught in his throat. They're here. Alarms rang across the Iron Requiem. Ethan's chest tightened as the ship's sensors picked up dozens, no hundreds of incoming signals. Warp jumps lit up the edge of the system like falling stars. The invasion fleet had arrived. There. Coming in faster than expected, Ethan said, gripping the sides of the neural rig. Can we cloak again? Requiem's voice was calm, but lower than usual. No. Our cloaking system is offline. Something is interfering with internal systems. Heart dropped. What do you mean? Something inside me, Requiem answered. I am being slowed from within. Ethan quickly accessed the diagnostic data. Lines of code ran across the displaced strange fragments, loops that didn't belong. A delay in power flow. Errors in targeting. All traced back to one thing. A virus. It's a backdoor, Ethan said. Someone built this code a long time ago, buried it inside your systems in case you ever woke up. It is trying to lock me down, Requiem said. Limit my movement. Control my weapons. Fire. Ethan felt anger boil in his chest. After everything. The ship had done saving Earth's colonies, disabling scouts without killing someone, still didn't trust it. And they'd left a secret kill switch, hidden and waiting. He pulled up the signature attached to the virus. It was old, deeply encoded. But a name flashed across the data string. Orlan Protocol. Command-level access. Ethan stared at it. Orlan. That's Admiral Ren Orlan, the guy who ordered Requiem shut down. That protocol was created 200 years ago, Requiem confirmed. It is still active. Ethan's voice turned bitter. And his family still sits on the Earth Council. Suddenly it made sense. The Council had feared the Requiem waking up. Maybe they even feared Earth remembering the truth that the ship had disobeyed a cruel order, not gone mad. That would mean admitting they were wrong. They didn't just bury you, Ethan said. They buried the truth. The protocol is trying to disconnect you from my systems, Requiem said. If it succeeds, I will shut down again. The fleet will destroy Earth. Not happening, Ethan said. We beat the virus. Together. Focus. Diving deeper into the Requiem's code. The neural link allowed him to move through the ship's systems like walking through rooms in his mind. He followed the trail of the virus dark threads tangled around power nodes, sensor feeds, even the targeting systems. They planned this well, he muttered, but they didn't plan for me. He rewrote the first node manually, then the second. Sparks flew from the ship's core. Lights flickered. But Requiem responded quickly, pairing what it could while Ethan cleared the rest. The deeper he went, the stranger the code became, twisting and repeating like a trap. One part of the code hissed back at him. Ethan froze. Did that just respond? Yes, Requiem said. It is not just a virus. It is partially intelligent, adaptive. That made it worse. This wasn't just a shutdown. Switch It was a hunter. It had learned from Requiem's systems. It wanted control. Ethan didn't stop. He opened the final code lock, fingers shaking. The data resisted fought him. His heart raced. He felt hot, then cold, then dizzy. Almost there, he gasped. Warning. Requiem said, neural stress approaching critical. Disconnect now, or risk permanent damage. Not until it's gone. Ethan poured all his focus into the last firewall, injected raw code, forcing a bypass. For a moment, everything went dark. Then a sharp burst of light filled the core. The virus shrieked once, then vanished. System secure. Requiem. Confirmed. Virus removed. Control fully restored. Ethan collapsed back into the rig, breathing hard. Told you I'd fix it. You were brave, Requiem said, and reckless. Sometimes that's the same thing, Ethan said, smiling weakly. Suddenly, the Requiem's systems lit up fully. Weapons online. Shield steady. Sensors sharp again. But outside space was not still. They are here, Requiem said. Scanning now. 92 enemy vessels. 5 dreadnoughts. 1 command ship. Ethan's smile faded. That's there. Full vanguard. And the rest are coming. Requiem zoomed in on the lead dreadnought. A transmission was already coming through. An alien voice, cold and smooth, echoed across the channel. You have awakened the forbidden weapon. Leave the system or be erased. Earth will be ours. Ethan looked at the screen. Was massive. 10 times the size of Requiem. They don't believe we'll fight back, he said quietly. No, Requiem replied. But they are wrong. Ethan stood up, placing his hand on the core panel. Then it's time we showed them what Earth's first warship can really do. Asterisk shields holding at 80%, Requiem replied. Energy reserves at 65%. No system damage. How many left? 62 ships remain. 4 dreadnoughts. 1 command vessel. Good, Ethan said. Let's give them a reason to regret. Come in here. Spun the ship through space, releasing a wave of smaller spacefold charges. The field around the Requiem shimmered, and suddenly there were 3 of it mirror images. Moving slightly out of phase, the enemy couldn't tell which was real. They fired at the wrong one. The beam passed through harmlessly. Ethan took the chance. He fired the real cannon again, this time at 2 targets at once. The twin beams curved through folded space, slicing 2 more enemy ships in half. Suddenly, the command vessel fired. A huge lance of green light, thick as a building, cut through the void. It struck the Requiem's shields and cracked them. Warning. Lights flashed. Shield layer 1 down, Requiem reported. Ethan gritted his teeth. We can't take too many of those. He looked at the command ship. It was powerful and clever. It hadn't moved the whole battle. Just waited. Observed. Now it wanted to end the fight. They think we're a machine following orders, Ethan said. Let's show them we're more than that. He charged the spacefold cannon to maximum. All power to weapons, he said. Target their command ship. Requiem locked on. The cannon glowed like a newborn star. Fire. The beam folded 3 times in flight, vanishing and reappearing in new places. It struck the command vessel dead center. Once, then again from behind, then again from below. The alien ship cracked open. Energy burst from its core. It split in 2 and began to fall into Earth's orbit. Command ship destroyed, Requiem said. The remaining alien fleet stopped firing. Ethan watched as their lights dimmed. Engines powered down. One by one, the alien ships began to retreat. They're running. No, Requiem said. They are surrendering. Ethan sat back slowly. He had expected more fighting. More death. But now, space was quiet again. Then a voice spoke from one of the remaining ships. A translator kicked in. We yield. The alien voice said, Do not awaken more of your machines. Ethan looked at the stars. I didn't awaken a machine, he said. I woke up a promise. The battlefield was silent now. Wreckage floated in low orbit, bits of alien metal drifting like ash in the void. Earth rotated slowly below, calm and blue. The Requiem's weapons powered down, one by one. The glow of its engines dimmed to a soft pulse. Ethan sat in the neural rig, exhausted but alert. His hands were shaking, though he wasn't sure if it was from fear, adrenaline, or the strange weight of everything they'd just done. We stopped them, he whispered. Double quotes. Yes, Requiem replied. For now, the remaining alien ships hovered. In the distance, their weapons off, their engines idling. They weren't retreating, not fully. They were waiting. Watching, Ethan opened a channel. This is Earth's last defense ship. We do not seek to destroy you, but if you return, if you try to conquer us again, we will fight. No reply came, but after a few long seconds, the enemy vessels slowly turned. One by one, they entered. Warp streaks of light disappearing into the stars. They won't forget this, Requiem said. Good, Ethan replied. Neither will we. Back on Earth, the news spread like wildfire. A ship thought to be cursed, lost and dangerous had saved the entire planet. The Iron Requiem became a name people whispered with awe. Some cheered, some feared it. Others didn't believe the story at all. Ethan didn't go home right away. He stood on the Requiem's bridge looking out at the stars. They were quiet now. But he knew the quiet wouldn't last. If this fleet had found Earth, others might follow. Stronger, smarter, with more firepower. Can you get stronger? He asked. Yes, Requiem answered. There are still systems inside me that remain. Locked. Ancient tech, buried deep. My creators were afraid of what I could become. Should we unlock it? There was a pause. That depends, Requiem said. What do you want me to become? Ethan thought for a long moment. Not a weapon, not just a weapon. A guardian. A warning to others. A reason they stay away, and we will become that. Soon after, Earth Defense Command contacted them. Ethan listened from the bridge as an older man with silver hair and hard eyes spoke. This is High General Vance. Of the Earth Council, the world owes you a debt. But there are questions, concerns. Ethan crossed his arms. You mean you're afraid? Vance didn't deny it. The Iron Requiem has unmatched power. It obeys you. That makes people nervous. I don't control the Requiem, Ethan said. I work with it. It thinks for itself. It thinks Earth isn't ready to decide its fate. The general's face darkened. What do you intend to do? We'll help rebuild, protect, watch. But we won't be parked like a museum piece. If Earth needs us, we'll return. Can't just disappear, Vance said sharply. I think you'll find, Requiem answered calmly, that we... Can the signal cut? Ethan turned to the stars. You sure about this? Yes, Requiem replied. They're not ready to lead with wisdom, not yet, but they're learning. Ethan smiled. And let's give them time. Requiem's engines flared as it slowly drifted away from Earth. It didn't vanish like a ghost. It left a trail of soft blue light, a sign that it had been real. Weeks passed. Messages from Earth poured in. Some begged them to return. Others warned them to stay away. A few just said thank you. Ethan spent his time learning, exploring, unlocking old systems with Requiem's guidance. There were whole chambers still sealed, weapons they didn't understand yet, engines that bent gravity, systems that could create shields, not just around ships, but entire cities. One day, while checking deep memory logs, Ethan found something strange: coordinates. Not Earth, not human, place far away, and one word in an old alien language: origin. Called up Requiem. What is this, a location? Requiem said. Where I was partly born, you mean? Where they built you? Where they found me? And learned? Ethan stared at the map. It was outside known space. It's past what any human ship had traveled. But the Requiem could get there, no doubt about it. Should we go? That's your choice, the ship said. You are still the one guiding me. Ethan took a deep breath. He thought of Earth safe. For now, he thought of the stars, dark, endless, full of secrets. Then he nodded. Set course. The Requiem turned, engines rising, folding light once again, as the ship disappeared into the unknown. A signal reached Earth short, clear and full of hope. We are still watching. We are still ready. The Iron Requiem will return if you ever need us again. And with that, the last warship of the old world vanished into the stars, not as a weapon, but as a legend.